Welcome back to the channel. My name's Tom, and today I'm taking a look at what I consider one of the most amazing classic video game arcades I've ever seen, the Half Moon Arcade and Family Fun Center at Weirs Beach in Laconia, New Hampshire. Now, this isn't some modern arcade that the owners have made to look retro. This arcade is truly vintage. It's been here in one form or another since about 1949. I used to come here pretty much every summer back in the 1980s when my family would vacation up here at Lake Winnipesaukee. And I would say that very little has changed here in the last 30 to 40 years. Of course, some of the machines have changed since then, but a lot of them haven't. And that's what I love about this place. So now let's take a look around. And don't forget, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. I've got a lot more videos coming up, including more arcade videos, so stay tuned. Thanks.
Shoot outside of the screen.
Now here's some real classics, Centipede and Punch-Out! I've never seen this one before, Dark Silhouette Silent Scope 2, but it looks pretty cool. Tried to look through the scope, but you can't see anything. Here's another classic. This is the original Mario Brothers. This is before it was Super Mario Brothers. And if you've never played the original Mario Brothers, it plays completely differently than Super Mario Brothers. I much prefer Super Mario Brothers, but this, again, it's still a classic. And here's Ms. Pac-Man, which many people say is better than the original game. I don't know the game well enough to tell you if that's true or not, but let's give it a play. Another great game, Galaga. I'd have to say, like, if I were to come up with a top 20 best classic arcade games, Galaga and Ms. Pac-Man would almost certainly be on there. I think I've seen this Halo game at pretty much every mall arcade I've ever been to, but I've never played it. Got a bunch of coin pushers here. I'm sure if my mom were with me right now, she'd want to play a game of skee ball.
Big win target, win tickets, based on where the truck stops.
And they've got a great selection of pinball machines here. I'm not sure how old all of these are. I would guess they're probably mostly from the 90s or earlier. But I'm not an expert on pinball machines, so I couldn't tell you if some of these are from the 80s or 70s possibly. I think these ones are probably a little bit older here. And then look at these prizes they have up here. I have to wonder how long some of these things have been up there. I would guess a very long time. I've never seen a game like this before. It's kind of weird, the setup, the way you're sitting down and you're leaning back. Yeah, I'm guessing it's some sort of motion simulator more than a video game. Looks like they might possibly have a leak in the roof. Maybe. Hard to say. So now the Half Moon Arcade is actually split into two separate parts of the building. This was the first half we were just in. Now the second half is down at the other end of the building, and it's a lot bigger, and it's also got a lot more vintage machines in it. And they've got these bumper cars here in the center. I've never been on these bumper cars before. Maybe someday, but being on the bumper cars by myself would be kind of boring, I think. Just driving around in a circle. Here's the second half of the arcade that they call the Family Fun Center. According to their webpage, it seems like this was originally a bowling alley, and I don't think this became part of the arcade until about 1980. If I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments. This Duck Dynasty game is kind of interesting because you see at the top it's got a Terminator, and there was a Terminator game in the other building that looked very similar to this. So I'm wondering if this was a conversion from a Terminator game. Not sure. I'm just wondering why they would have a Terminator at the top of a Duck Dynasty. This Blazing Angels game is pretty cool. I've never seen one like this before. Just the fact that it has a cockpit like this makes it pretty awesome. Even if the game itself isn't that great, just the fact that you can sit down in it makes it cool. Here's some more great pinball machines. Looks like we've got a mix of vintage and modern in here. Obviously the Lord of the Rings one is from at least the last 20 years. I think that Attack on Mars is fairly new. Then these are definitely old. Not sure how old, but they're definitely vintage. Then this is, I don't know, this is probably from the 50s maybe? 60s? It's not really a pinball machine, but it's very old. Doesn't seem to be working though, sadly. I'm not 100% sure, but this game seems to be playing on a rear projection TV, which is fairly unusual because rear projection TVs don't really work well as video game machines because of burn-in. Here's a pretty cool old shooting gallery. This one's called Dodge City. And I would have to say this one's been here for quite a while, at least from the 80s, because I'm sure this was here back when I was a kid. Now let's see if I'm any good at it. I guess not. Now I thought this was really cool. This is G-Lock Air Battle from Sega. I think it's from 1990. And it looks a lot like Afterburner to me. Like, a lot. Pretty much if this said Afterburner on it, I would assume it's Afterburner. Afterburner also had a cabinet kind of like this that would move around when you played it. But I've never played this one, so I figured I'd give it a try. Serve more coins. It's moving.
this is an afterburner. There's no sound though. It's too bad. Oh dear. Hey.
I've seen the game Star Wars Racer before, but I've never seen a sit-down version where you're actually in a pod racer. That's pretty cool. So here's Galaga again. We saw this in the other room, but this one I'm actually going to try and play. And I actually did really well. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but I got to, I think, level 8, which is the furthest I've ever gone before. I don't know if that's any good. Probably not, but this game went on for quite a while. Got killed by the final ship. Looks like they're hiding a lot of the classics out back here. Got an original Tetris. That's pretty cool. I don't see that too often in the arcades. And of course Tron. Tron seemed to be broken. And a few of the all-time classics here. Space Invaders, of course. Definitely in like the top 10 of all classic video game machines. Asteroids also probably in the top 10. Centipede again, top 10 easily. And of course Donkey Kong, which is the first ever appearance of Mario. Right there, that alone, that makes it easily top 5 of all time. This game here, X-Men, has to be one of my personal favorites of all time. This came out in 1992, so I would have been a teenager at the time. And I remember anytime I saw this, I would play it if I could. And I did end up getting the Sega Genesis version of this, of course, and I played that to death. So I figured I might as well play it one more time. remember being a lot better at that about 30 years ago. Might be just a little bit rusty. This game is Chicago Coins Basketball Champ. This has to be one of the older games here. I would guess this is probably from the 50s. Could be wrong, but it sure looks like it. And then this pinball machine, Liberty Bell, doesn't seem to be working, but I would guess this is pretty old too. Maybe 60s, 70s? Cool stuff. Who else remembers when these used to be in front of pretty much every store? Nowadays, you really only find them in either arcades or in the malls. This is 18-wheeler from Sega, and this is cool, again, just because you can sit down in it. Love that. Look at all these fabulous prizes you can win. These games are really cool. These are not technically video games, though, because there's no monitor. They're electromechanical games. They're basically light guns. And I remember specifically playing these actual games when I was a little kid, and I thought they were fascinating. They were way cooler, I thought, than the actual video games. But those are very uncommon to see now. More classics. There must have been a sale on Galagas at one point, because I think that's the third Galaga I've seen so far. Here's another one of my favorites from back in the day, Terminator 2 Judgment Day. You can't really see it in the video here, but the monitor was really faded on that one. Here's another one of those games that I think is some sort of motion simulator. This one wasn't working though. Look at some of the prizes they have up here. These, again, seem to have been here forever. I wouldn't be shocked if some of these have been up here 20, 30 years. I might be completely wrong, but that's what it looks like. Here's another one of my personal favorites of all time, Hang On from Sega. I never played it in the arcade, but I did have it on the Sega Master System, and I think I played it pretty much every day for about a year. Great game. And then we've got Whack-A-Mole, another classic. So here's me back in 1987 playing this same exact game. And let's see if I can do any better today. I'm going to say no. Sadly, I didn't get my score on video, but I think I did a little bit worse this time. And before there was Zoltar, there was Grandma. Looks like Grandma might have some leprosy, but she seems to be doing fine otherwise. What does Grandma say? Well, let's find out. Unlike Zoltar, Grandma doesn't make any noise, or at least she doesn't now. So let's just see what our fortune is. So it says, I see a great deal of happiness in store for you. You will receive a letter soon, and that letter can easily be said to change the whole course of your life. Well, I hate to say it, Grandma, but it looks like that letter got lost in the mail. Still waiting on it. And there you have it. That was the Half Moon Arcade at Weirs Beach in Laconia, New Hampshire. Again, I say it's one of the greatest vintage arcades of all time, at least that I'm aware of. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. I've got a lot more videos coming up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.